Good morning, everyone. Let me remove this from the stream. How you doing? It's me, your buddy, Gabe El Taib. I am supposed to be talking about the Lost Pages 2. Oh, my microphone's on. Lost Pages 2 with Philip Diaz. Let me go to the comments here, see if anyone is in here yet. And yeah, we're going to be promoting that book today. So I don't know where Phil is. He'll be here soon. It is a very professional operation we're running around here. I hope you're having a good Tuesday morning. I'm having a lot of fun. I am working on let's share. Oh, he's here. He's here.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, golly, time got away from me. I was filling out some paperwork for business stuff and this and that, and I was trying to make an intro video, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have 12 minutes." So I barely
No
sent you the
problem,
link
man.
4 minutes ago.
My bad.
And yeah, but we're here. It's so good to have you, man. Finally, I know we've been talking about this for like 2 weeks, but we had things
Yeah, for
going, all
sure.
kinds
Thank
of
you
stuff.
for finally having me, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm really excited about it. I think I heard you're tall, and I don't like that
It's true.
because I'm always the tallest person everywhere I go. I'm 6'4", and you're an
Yeah,
inch taller, right?
I'm 6'5",
Dang
so
it.
basically the same
I
thing.
do outweigh you, though. You'll get
Yeah,
there. All you gotta do is
yeah.
get married.
I'm
You'll get
training. I went to the gym yesterday, so
okay. Oh, you're a workout guy. Me too. Me
yeah.
too. Okay.
Yep. My company I work for also owns a gym business, so like right after work, my brother and I go work out
Oh wow.
all the time. So
Big guys at the gym hogging the bench.
yeah,
I
I
work
do.
out. I work out about 8 feet that way. My
Yeah.
studio is in my garage actually
Oh, cool.
because my wife took my home studio after COVID. She works at home.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is a green screen here, but there's a full Olympic set right back there
Oh,
behind
that's
me.
awesome.
Let me pull the green screen up and can you see
There
the
you
big? I have a
go.
big
Yeah.
mirror, and then there's a huge squat rack and bench and all of it back there.
Kick
So
ass.
that's a little behind the scenes magic for you guys. So okay, so you're Phil Diaz, and you got your book, The Lost Pages, and we're going to throw that up there. But what about how long have you been into art and comics, and like how did you find comics? Can we go over that first for the fans to understand who you are
For
before we
sure.
start the
Yeah.
book?
As long as I could remember, I've always been thinking up stories.
Okay,
Uh, and I think that a lot of it comes from my family upbringing. My parents have always been really advocates for imagination, creativity.
cool.
And I was always a kid in the back of my parents' car, just daydreaming about some crazy characters I came up with, really infatuated with. It probably all started with like the 90s X-Men cartoon and DC's Justice League, like Bruce Timm Justice League stuff.
Oh wow,
Really got into Justice League Unlimited because it just expanded all of the characters that I could know of,
right.
having all those extra, fringe DC characters. And then later on getting into the comics from there. That's kind of how I got into it. And just, always being around my brother who's 5 years older than me, but
Oh, now is he
he's
taller? Or are you both 6'5"?
he's a little bit shorter. So he's like your height. But
Okay, yeah. Oh,
yeah. So,
that's how it is. The younger brothers tend to be a little bit taller in my experience. My brother
yeah,
is
it's weird.
5'11" and a half. I've heard
Yeah.
5'11" referred to as a liar's height, but
Yeah.
usually men that are 5'8", 9, 10, they always say they're 5'11" because they know they can't get away with 6 feet.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm 6'4", but my driver's license said 6'5" for years
Yeah.
because when I was 15 and a half, I just figured I'd be 6'5". I just took a wild stab at it.
Nice.
So I finally rectified that this year. So you said Bruce Timm's Justice League Unlimited. I'm 43 years old. I'm guessing you're in your mid to late 20s.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
28.
So I'm the generation right in front of you. I'm sure you're familiar with Tim's Batman the Animated Series from 1990. What was that? Three or
For sure.
four? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
No,
tell
that's
my don't tell my nieces I just bought them the Blu-ray of that for Christmas and sent to them in
awesome.
Texas. They're probably not watching. So to me, that is the greatest iteration of any comic book ever, whether it's a book, movie, TV show, the Batman animated series. So I'm right there with you on the Justice League stuff too. That's
Yeah.
amazing stuff.
Yeah. It was so cool. And, Paul Dini, who wrote a lot of that stuff, it was cool to kind of like see where they started. They did a lot of like, of course, WB stuff like Freakazoid back in the day. Paul Dini worked on that with Bruce Timm. But yeah, the stuff they were able to accomplish with the Batman animated series, and then just expand it from there into Superman, Justice League,
Right.
just so inspiring. And then, figuring out that you could look at the comics from all of that and where they were pulling that from, it was just mind blowing for me. And then going further after high school, going into taking some college classes. I was talking to our boy Shant about this last week, of really getting into mythology and how that, like, ancient mythology was big influence on my writing and the kind of desire to create my own comics, looking at it through the kind of scope of creating our own mythology, our own myths, our new, mythology. And that's where I really kind of hunkered down and focused on getting into making my own comics.
Very cool. Now, I always like to people ask this. Do you like that? I always like to ask people this when they come on. What was the one comic that did it for you? You have to pick one. Mine is X-Men #1. I think it's the E cover with the Beast sleeping over the rock by Jim Lee and Scott Williams. That's what did it for me. That image of the Beast. What was the book in your mind? It'll come to you right now. What was it?
All right, I got it right. Let me get it. It's right here.
Oh, he has it ready, folks.
Yeah.
We didn't plan this. This is just amazing serendipity. Oh, Lobo. I see.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to talk about Lobo. Holy crap.
I'll show you some Lobo stuff. I'm a huge Lobo fan. But it's got to be this one from a storytelling aspect. It's Swamp Thing Annual, written by Alan Moore. Yes. Steve Bissette is on the art for this. And it's a really good, thick, full story about Swamp Thing going into the underworld to save Abigail, his love. And just the storytelling in here, the page layouts, the way Alan uses kind of allusions to other literature in here. One of my favorite characters, Etrigan the Demon, is in it. He kind of takes Swamp Thing on this journey down to hell. It's awesome.
I love how Etrigan is always spitting bars. He's always talking in rhymes, I think Dan Fraga would do a good job writing that. Just freestyle off the dome.
I love that stuff. And I'm a big fan of poetry as well. That kind of led me into writing. Poetry to short stories to comics is how I got into it. And Etrigan was a huge influence, so much so that one of my characters from the Lost Pages, who's kind of the pulpy character that Sean did a painting of, the Masquerade, he speaks in Shakespearean language to kind of mock his opponents. So I got to kind of.
That's great. Yeah, that's really cool. Now, let me see. I do have that image here real quick. I'm going to bring that up, and then I'm going to bring up some of your book here if I can ever find it.
Cool.
Oh, I have it under Shanth, not under Lost. Okay, let's see. Open with preview. Sorry. So usually a broadcaster has a graphics team behind him. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick, and because we got all kinds of neat stuff going on there. Awesome. Okay, so that's a quick intro into who the great Phil Diaz is. So this is a painting. If you watch Shanth and Jetty, and you should, subscribe to his channel, subscribe to Phil too. Phil, where can they find? Will you put it in the private chat, and then I'll put it in the regular chat? A link to your channel. And I already put in the description a link to the Lost Pages too, which we're going to talk about in just a second here. This is a character from that. I don't know his name. What's his name, Phil?
The Masquerade.
The Masquerade. And he speaks in Shakespearean, like that iambic pentameter and all that stuff to mock.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing.
He's all about theatrics. By day, he's actually a theater actor. And then by night, he's this pulp avenger that, as a master of disguise, mocks his enemies by speaking in rhymes and just has a blast doing it.
Yeah, there's a stream from about a week ago on Shanth and Jetty's channel, and Shanth does all those great video intros for Ethan's show, Comicsgate Kings, and all that stuff. If you check out Shanth and Jetty's channel, you could see him painting this. So if you want to see a little bit of process for something beautiful like that, check out Shanth and Jetty. Let's go right here to the Lost Pages. I think I'll get to the campaign stuff later. Let's start with some of the art. We could just go through it. Maybe you want to tell me about. Oh, here's the cover. This will work.
Yes. Yeah. So this is our fourth campaign.
Okay.
The first books that my brother and I did was a series called Magic Cop. And I think you'd like it. It's very 80s, Miami Vice style. Here's what that book looks like. But
Oh,
This,
let me pop you up here. What is
sure.
this?
So this is a
Oh,
beautiful
I've heard of
film.
Magic Cop.
Yeah. This is the first thing we ever did in CG, and you kind of testing the waters with a really thick book, kind of out there. It's not superhero stuff, it's detective Halloween type stuff. So it's a mixture between Miami Vice and Halloween Town. So that was the first thing we ever did. And then we put out the first Lost Pages book, which I'll show you the cover to that, which is a Simon Bisley cover. And
Simon Bisley. Oh my God, one
yeah,
of the greats. Have you
yeah,
ever read like Slain the Horn God
yes,
and of course all his Lobo stuff from the 90s.
that's
You
why I wore the
youngsters
shirt.
out there, if you haven't read the 1992 Paramilitary Christmas special, that's like one of the greatest comic books of all time. Basically, the Easter Bunny puts a hit out on Santa, and
Yep.
Lobo goes to the North Pole and kills Santa Claus. It's amazing. It's hilarious. And when I was 13 or 14 and read that, it like changed my life. I love Lobo so much.
Yeah, I got that
Lobo
right
was
here.
Deadpool before Deadpool was Deadpool. Just so you guys are, I always say about Deadpool, it was there. It is. I have that book too. I always say about Deadpool. Deadpool was funny the first time when it was Lobo. So
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah,
yeah,
and everybody in CG basically, if they know me, they know I'm a huge Lobo fan. You can see the Lobo statues behind me.
fantastic.
Um, so yeah, that's
Pull
why
a
I wear
Shane
the shirt.
Davis and knock it down and break it.
No,
You remember on his show, someone said, "Hey, is that Megatron or whatever?" And he like
yeah,
$500 statue or whatever got
yeah,
broken. Oh, that's
yeah.
hilarious. So you've got I'm a billionaire CEO of Disney, and you want me to make a Lost Pages TV show for Disney Plus. Give me the pitch on this. What is this? Because it looks cool. We've got Purple Hulk. We've got creepy old man with a book. We've got a
That's
giant
right.
hammer that's going to smash someone with a glowing arm. A very unfortunately faced woman with a
Mhm.
good body. I think I dated her in high school. We got the masquerade
That's
and
right.
a cool guy in all black with guns. And I'm sure these aren't their names, by the
That's
way.
right. It's not
I haven't read the book. The book isn't out, so you have to forgive me. So it's not out yet, So
right. So this the cover we're looking at is actually a reprint for the first book that's coming out with this. So basic pitch is the Lost Pages is our shot at a universe of heroes. We had ideas for multiple characters over the last decade or so, and tried to figure out a way of putting them all in one book to show off this foundation we're building of this universe. So we have the hobo in the back there who has this magical book that chronicles time. Every second that passes, a new passage is written in the book by the cosmos, and he is the bearer of this book. And it's his job to protect it. It's his job to kind of spread the word of these heroes that live amongst us. Their stories being lost to time, ever growing, and one day that these characters will come together to write the end of the world. So they are the protectors, and this is their story. And that's basically it. And this is the perfect image to kind of encapsulate everything that is going on here with them jumping out of that book.
all right, I'm gonna throw into the chat a link to the Indiegogo if people want to check this out. But we're gonna look at some more art and get a little bit more into who some of these interesting characters are here. Okay, Phil. So first of
For
all,
sure.
the hobo, he's kind of like your record keeper of all these great heroes and all their sorts. Who is this big flaming purple hunk of man here in the center? And what's his deal?
So he is actually kind of a partner to the woman below him. Um,
They do
they,
have that family resemblance.
yes, yeah, that's a mask she wears when
Oh,
she's
good. Oh, good.
fighting crime. So he is actually her imaginary friend from childhood.
Oh boy.
And as she grows up, when she's young, he's like this goofy little imaginary friend guy that keeps her company. But as she grows up, she forgets about him. And throughout the years, he's inside of her head fighting all of her inner demons, becoming this jacked, monstrous powerhouse. And then one day, she gets in shape, she gets over her insecurities and stuff, and tragedy strikes her. She starts seeing him again, and basically when he's around now, he's this crazy monstrous figure. She gets super strength from that, and she goes out and fights crime. Together they are referred to as Crimstone, and they go around kind of patrolling the urban streets of Chicago.
Very cool. Now, is that where you are? I'm pretty sure I remember that. Are you
Yeah.
around there? Okay.
Mhm.
Chicago. I've only been there twice. That sounds really cool. So she has an imaginary friend that is not so imaginary. He sounds
Right.
just
Yeah.
like
Only she can
friend.
see him, and what we'll find out in this new story is other children can see him as well. So
Yeah,
kind of our readers really dug this character, so we're putting more of Crimstone in this new book.
very cool. So who's not Thor up here with the green and the hammer and all that?
That's Wild Card. He's an ancient sorcerer from Merlin times who kind of doesn't age, so he lives throughout millennia, basically protecting the human world from the mythological world. So in the first story, we see him on a pirate ship in the 1600s as the ship the ship is getting overrun by sirens. So we have those mythological figures, those kind of
Sure.
like bird women, super sexy women who sing the siren song to make the ship crash on the shores. But he has the power of the first deck of magic. He's kind of like our Doctor Strange type character,
Okay.
only with like a
An
mixture of Gambit in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fun. Yeah, the name Wildcard, it does give him like a playful. Is he like a swashbuckling, devil may care kind of guy? That's kind of what I get from that name.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
guy has seen everything. He's fought, been up against gods at this point, so
very cool.
he nothing really impresses him. His wolf below him is his best friend. His name's Scar. He's a talking wolf who has a awesome, really cool backstory with him and how they became friends and all this stuff. The really fun thing about these characters is I've been writing them for years. Like the silhouette who's at the bottom, Wild Card, the Masquerade. These are characters that my brother and I created probably like in 2012, and
Cool.
we just now have had the capabilities to put them into print, publish them, and let the whole world know about them.
Very cool. Yeah, I think of all these, my favorite one has to be the Masquerade.
Oh
I
yeah,
think I think that painting with Shant, and then this is a great illustration here too. I like the color a lot on it. As you guys know, I've colored thousands and thousands of pages
yeah.
for mostly DC, but many companies, and it gets my seal of approval on this. I did help
Thank
you
you.
early on when I first joined CG, like 2 months ago when I first outwardly joined it,
Yeah.
about the values on the purple. That is
Hmm.
a very this is some inside baseball here, guys. Purple is a very hard color to do in print in CMYK because what you'll get is people will try and go really bright on the purple, and it looks great on a computer screen. And then when it
Yeah.
prints on paper, since paper doesn't glow, it turns gray. It totally desaturates and looks really ugly. And Phil approached me about some stuff on evening that stuff out. Hopefully, I was able to help.
Yeah,
So,
this I'm pretty sure you pulled this from the campaign. This isn't the final version. He actually,
sure.
after you gave me the tips, he went back
Right.
in and fixed some stuff.
And just for those of you out there, just so you know, the way I look at it is people will start with like a cool purple and they'll
Hmm.
lighten it with a cool purple. And a trick I found is if you have a bluish purple, that's a cool purple, lighten it with the reddish purple or vice versa. Start with the red base and lighten it with blue. And of course, you need your atmospheric lighting, but I won't get too much into color lecture here. It's not school time, kids. So have we hit the 18K for this free print of Crimstone?
Yes, yeah, yeah. So we're
Let's
sitting
go
at
look real quick.
26 now. So yeah, everybody that backs the campaign is going to get that print, which is amazing. Drawn by Matt Dalton. He's just this insane muscle artist, and it works out well because he himself is a bodybuilder, jacked out of his mind. I find that bodybuilder artists are really good at drawing muscles.
Like me? No, Doug Mankey. Everyone
Doug.
knows the great Doug Mankey.
Yep.
Him and Tom Nguyen, they're good friends from up there in Minnesota, and they both are gym rats. And
Uh-huh.
we actually have a private group on Twitter. Me and John Livesey, and I always thought it was Livesey until he told me. John Livesey and Tom Nguyen and a couple of, and we talk about our workouts. Like, oh, today was back and biceps and shoulders and chest, and we do
Yeah,
that a couple times a week, telling each other what we're working on to kind of motivate each other.
that's
But you're
awesome.
right about the bodybuilder artist. Doug Mankey, for those of you that don't know, not only is a prolific artist for one of DC's very best, he won the Arnold Classic last year. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a bodybuilding thing in Ohio every year, and
Okay.
Doug won it for his age group, like 53 or 55 or whatever,
Wow, that's
however
awesome.
old he is.
Yeah,
But he literally won that shit. So check out
this
Doug Mankey's.
artist.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. This artist, Matt Dalton, I think he goes to those as well. And because I was
Really?
talking to him, I was telling him about how Doug did the animation for us for the trailer, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll tell him I'll see him at the Arnold Classic."
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I colored a bunch of Doug's work on Green Lantern and all that. I colored the sickest Lobo thing. I'll dig for it. If you want to talk a little bit more about what we got here, let me find you a little bit more of the Lost Pages art because I
Oh,
had
yeah.
questions about, and then this El Dorado character, and then the people. We got different characters. So who is this? Her here? Is this a different version of her with
Yeah,
the
so
collar?
that is that's Taz. That's her name. Her name's Taz Stone,
Okay.
and she's one half of Crimstone. Um, yeah, this is the way the story flows is the first Lost Pages was very much kind of like an anthology where you had these different stories drawn by different artists in one book, kind of linearly moved along by the hobo's narration because he's kind of like our narrator, a crypt keeper
Oh,
type of
that's
guy.
fun. That's fun, like
Yeah.
those House of Mystery and House of Secrets
Yes.
from DC in the 60s.
Yeah, I love that stuff, and so it was kind of the perfect way to puzzle everything together to fit in one story. So it seemed like the readers really liked that, and we're all about listening to backer response and what they like about stories. So we wanted to keep that feel where you had multiple artists and kind of a story transition. So
Mhm.
this is right at the beginning. Crimstone is coming in here breaking up this kind of jewelry robbery at a jewelry store, and we get a lot of action right at the beginning, and then it flows into meeting the hobo and him telling this little kid here who's part of this gang, telling him the story of the silhouette and El Dorado, kind of as a warning to not to succumb to greed. Kind of a good heartwarming message, Gabe.
Very, very cool. So yeah, that looks. I really like it. I like the pulp, like the not pulp, but I like the street level violence aspect because
Yeah.
as everyone can see behind me, I love action, and I don't
Yes.
think Van Damme and Steven Seagal are stupid. I don't like them, ironically, to be quirky. I love that stuff because I was a middle schooler when it was coming out, and it just
For
really,
sure.
it was perfect for me. So stuff like this where it's street level crime and all that, I absolutely adore that. This is a great throwback here. For any of you that were a child in the 80s, there were these horrible rubber toys, and they were called Mad Balls, and they had all these ugly faces and stuff. Is that what this is a takeoff of, or you just okay?
Exactly. Yeah. This is our Madball Crimstone sticker. So Shelby Robertson, awesome CG illustrator, doing his book Ragetality, and
Okay,
he designed and colored and drew this up for us as a sticker. So everybody that backs the campaign will get one of these stickers for free.
I love that. That has such I'm a Southern Californian. I born in Colorado, but I grew up here. Surfing and skating and all that is so big, and this has that San Diego punk rock, Pacific Beach, Ocean Beach skate. I could totally see this on someone's skateboard or
Yes.
on the electrical box right in front of the taco shop and all that. This is gritty street level. I love it. That's really great. So
Yes.
there were some other that were not with Grimstone that I wanted to ask about that looked pretty cool. I wanted to know about the people. I love
Yeah.
this. It's a little hard to see here on so small. Let me blow this up.
Yeah. Look at that.
But we
That's
got
so
like
cool.
it seems like a patriotic themed hero. Little dude.
Yeah.
How would you like to see that right before you go to sleep forever?
Yeah. So the people, oh man, I just love writing so much, and I have so many character ideas that
Oh, let me stop you
I
real quick before we confuse anyone. Does this
yeah.
come with the Lost Pages, or is it a backup or an extra? Or what is this before we say who this character is? Like, where would they
Right.
get this?
Perfect. So this is an ash can that we're doing. Um,
Okay.
and kind of something new we're doing with these ash cans. This is gonna be an add-on for the campaign, so you could either grab it in the add-on section, or
Okay.
there's specific perks. Like our featured perk comes with the first two books plus the ash can
Is
and a poster of that reprint cover that we were
is
looking
that it
at.
right there? The one I'm
Yeah.
mousing over?
Yep, that's the reprint pack. So you can see there that the People Ash can comes with it. and taking kind of a tip out of those 90s ash cans, like the Dale Keown's Pit ash can.
Right.
It was black and white on the inside, 20 pages, and the cover was actually printed on red paper. So that's what we're going for this ash can, to get that color on there. So it's going to be, black inks and then white ink over that.
That's going to look amazing. White,
Yeah,
you
kinda
never
like
see white ink, right? I mean, the paper's always default white. I wonder how that's going to come out. It's going to be really neat.
Yeah, so we really wanted that to hit well with the fans, as well as for that, it's going to be the first part of a 3-part Ashcan story. So our next Lost Pages campaigns will have that continuation, kind of practicing writing in kind of like 20-page intervals for storytelling, and seeing if I could really hit on something that is very crime oriented. The People is a character that is kind of our Daredevil, Casey Jones vigilante. Doesn't have any powers, but he's going after a serial killer in this story. I think it's going to be pretty badass.
Okay, Phil, you'll have to tell the audience. Someone in the chat said my mic's not working. I'm going to fix that, so it's up to you to talk now. I'm gonna go to my computer's mic real quick. I think I think it broke or something.
Oh,
that's weird that it would break right in the middle of the show. But I have a built-in mic, so go ahead and tell them I'm fixing.
So yeah, I could hear Gabe, but you guys can't hear Gabe. Oh, Moral says he can hear Gabe too.
Can you hear me now?
I think everybody could hear you.
Okay. Okay. Adam Miller says we can hear you. I switched to my IMAX mic, so I might sound a little tinny because it's 4 feet away. But maybe this thing broke. I don't know. It was acting up before the show. So
I think
Adam Miller says your mic is fine. Oh, maybe I've been lied to. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this mic so the sound is better. So bear with me, guys. Sorry about that.
I think we were live. I think Past Master Dan just had his computer muted.
Okay, he was just having fun with me. Let's see. Where is this? Okay. All right. If you can hit me, you better not.
Beautiful.
If you can hear me, just let me know, guys. If you can.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Pasta Master Dan says, I'm on YouTube and I got nothing. Mouth's moving, but only mime. Huh.
It must reload your thing. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, other people say they can hear us. Let us know in the chat if you can hear us. I hope I don't watch this later in the silent stream. So
no, I think
Vlad Rides call me a boomer. Damn it. You know, there's been on more than one occasion, Phil, where I've come on the show and it was completely silent. It was I had my mic muted because I didn't want to talk over the intro video. I didn't know the intro video automatically muted me. So then when the show opened, I said, "Oh, my guest, Phil Diaz," blah, blah, blah. And I talked for like a minute and I was muted. I had no idea. So Angela Curry and Vlad Riot say they can hear us. So it's settled. We are acoustically sound. Okay, so back to where we were with the Patriot. It's an ash can. For those of you that don't know, those are kind of like small. I don't know if it's physically small, but usually they're shorter. They're a lot of times they're black and white, and there may be an epilogue or a prologue or like a side story for the main thing. Usually a bonus with the first issue. It was the thing they really did in the early 90s with Image, kind of made that popular. So the People, tell us who the People is and why he's important. So why would people love this?
Cool. So this character, the People, by day he is a courtroom.
That's a great logo, by the way. Sorry to step on you. But that's a great logo.
No problem. Yeah, our boy Alan Alonso does these all these awesome logos for each of our characters. Very unique. But this character, patriotic, vigilante, sticking to the rules of the Constitution, really enforcing those. And his story is he is a courtroom sketch artist by day. So he goes into the big trials. We see him drawing, sketching out these criminals, and if they kind of bribe their way out of jail, tip off the jury or the judge, he hunts them down. There's an awesome page in the book. Let me see if I can pull some of these up.
All right, put it up and I'll show you screen if you can find it.
For sure.
If you hear anything funny, I'm bringing up YouTube on my phone to make sure we have sound. So I'm listening to you though.
Cool. Let me see here. But he'll hunt down the bad guys. Do a little investigation.
I love that. He's sitting in the courtroom and he's drawing people. He's like, I'm gonna find this motherfucker and kick his ass. That is such I gotta tell you, you should be really proud of that. That is such a unique, fun idea. Who has ever made a courtroom sketch artist the main character? That is fantastic, Phil. I'm very impressed. I'm not even kidding.
Thanks. No, yeah, it all came from kind of that baseball bat aspect where I've told the story before where I saw an image of what I thought was a baseball bat that said "We the People" on it, but what it actually was the preamble to the Constitution rolled up.
Oh,
I'm like, what if there was a guy who carried a baseball bat that had that on there? What would that character be? And so it just spiraled out like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well,
and
I love that. I
yeah,
love that.
check this out. So this is a page
Where
from, should be right
okay.
there.
Add to stream. It's better not be porn.
So here he is. He's looking at all the drawings from the courtroom, all these criminals on his
What
wall.
a great concept. I'm telling you, he's sitting there angrily drawing sketches of people.
And he's got his, putting his war paint out, and his baseball bat. It's kind of a trick bat. So it's a grappling hook.
Nice.
So as we see here, this is the next splash. So he's swinging through the city on his bat, looking like a badass here.
Wow.
But as we can, that's not, that one doesn't work. But yeah, so and also on his back, he has the preamble to the Constitution tattooed on his back.
So he's completely sane individual.
Yeah, he's a normal guy, But as we'll go into his backstory in future stories. But this one, all about investigation, lots of action in here, which I really enjoy, and kind of a cool collaborative team. We have Dan Dahl, who goes by Booty Juice. That's
Booty Juice, of course.
Yeah, Twitter name. He does the breakdowns on this, and my boy Avery Butterworth does the finishes on here, adding the ink wash and zip tone as well.
We have a very important question in the chat about the writing on his back.
Yeah. Let's see. Does it all fit on his back, or does it go onto his butt? We'll have to read the book to find out.
Yeah. And speaking of your friend whose screen name is Booty Juice, you guys got to be careful when you're making those passwords and screen names. We had a friend once share his, this is like 10 years ago or whatever, his Netflix or HBO or something with us. And he told my wife, she's like, well, what's the password? He's like, who farted 420 or something like. It wasn't that, but it was, just like 69, 420, bad boy. It was just like some cringy, horrible password.
Right.
So you got to watch out when you make those. I've always just used my name, I just and not weirdo stuff like that. So yeah,
probably for the best.
Yeah. So you have to read the book to find out if all of that fits on his back. Okay. Well, moving on. One more character I was really curious about. I like this here. This guy. Let me show this up here. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, what's going on with Golden Mouth here? That isn't his name, but that's not what I would have called him.
Yeah, so that's El Dorado. He is the main villain of the main story. So, like I said, the hobo takes you through this silhouette story, which, the book goes from color with all of the crimstone and hobo stuff, and then it bleeds and drains into this black and white with spot color for a big emphasis. And one of those spots is the gold of El Dorado. He's a ex-military turned bank robber who's obsessed with gold. And during a fight with our hero, the silhouette gets the bottom of his face blown off and basically plated gold.
I love it. Well, I have to tell you, Phil, I've been a professional artist for 21 years. And I worked in the mainstream for DC and all that for a better part of 15 years, 14 something. This is professional, what you're doing here. Totally. You probably didn't have any question, but I am impressed as someone who has worked on Batman and Superman and Star Wars. I'm impressed. The concepts are rock solid. The art is fun and professional. I couldn't be more impressed by what you're doing here. I have to admit, I didn't know a lot about it. I knew about you. I'd seen you on streams.
Yeah.
This Purple Hulk looks cool. But taking a little peek into this and having you explain it, I'm impressed.
Thanks, man.
The chat should be too. Because we know in Comicsgate the number one thing here is to entertain and treat the fans right and give them value for their money. And this looks like you are getting every penny's worth out of here. Damn, man, these are
Thanks,
great
brother.
ideas. I'll tell you right now, I want to collab with you on something in the future.
Hell yeah, man.
I love
Yeah.
winners. You seem like a winner. It's because we're tall.
Thank you.
It's because we're
No.
tall. And tall man, we're just better. I'm sorry, guys. That's just how it is. Please don't unsub if you're short. I love short people. Hey, hold on. My very best friend in the world is like 5'3". So
Oh wow.
I'm not
Yeah.
prejudiced against short people. I have a
Yeah,
hard
they're
time
good
seeing
people.
them. Sometimes I don't see them, but I know they're there. Hey, this is a beautiful moment for me. If you want, let me interrupt your whole thing here. Look on the screen. My channel's monetized. I'm going to do memberships too.
Yeah,
That you
dude.
can email me. I've never got a super chat before. So, nah. Do you want to be a mod? I'll reward you with modship if you want that. Let me know. And I'll do that because holy shit. Thank you so much. I'm humbled. It's $5 and I think I get 55% or something is the agreement with YouTube. Hell yeah.
Dude,
Let me go.
super chat.
Yeah, that's my first super chat ever. Hey Gabe, keep kicking ass. Have my free super chat. Well, thank you so much. That's very, very, very nice of you. So I'm going to go into YouTube. I don't have YouTube open. I just have StreamYard open and find you, Mr. Nana, in the chat while Phil does a little vamping and just keeps talking and make you a mod. So go ahead, Phil. You can say anything you want. Start screaming racial epithets. It's your show.
So in the chat here, Teflon Ron says, "I'm glad Phil is actually talking in depth about this project for a change." Yeah, no, I love talking about this stuff. I know a lot of that's why doing streams like this is good, so people could know what's going on. But I love writing so much and creating these characters. It's awesome to hear that you're digging the concepts and stuff because we've been working on these for a long time, and I always tell new writers that are working on a project for a comic, they want to get into crowdfunding, I would say don't rush it. Spend time with these characters and get to know them so you know what they're going to do in the situations that they're put in, so they feel more visceral, more tangible and real. Yeah, look at this is insane.
That's fantastic. That's got some serious Todd McFarlane 1990s energy going, man.
Yeah,
Crimstone. The texture of that swipe, that's very Spider-Man 1991, 92. Awesome stuff there.
Yeah.
Disgusting, but awesome.
Yeah.
So this is for children, obviously.
But the concept for the Lost Pages was really kind of a experiment to see the different genres I could write and create, and that's why each character feels different enough where they could be thrown into kind of different eras of comics. And Crimstone is very much our 90s ultra violent character, my love letter to Lobo and The Mask.
Okay.
Being such fans of Doug Mahnke and Simon Bisley. So he's wacky. He still has that kind of deep down soft spot for Taz because they grew up together very much. They're best friends, but now he's this hulking badass that just loves to fight, right? So in reality, we can see those two bottom panels. That's what has actually happened. What everybody's seeing, they're seeing.
Sorry, I skipped past it. I'll go back.
No problem. But they're seeing they're seeing the girl kick some ass in those bottom panels, but she's seeing her best imaginary friend, ripping this guy to shreds.
Very cool. Well, I gotta say, we've been going for about 45 minutes, so we'll wrap it up here in just a second. But I want to speak directly to the chat. You know what I always tell you guys? I say thank you to you, the fans. These are the best fans I've ever met, and I've been at this for 20-something years being a pro artist. And the Comicsgate people are just so amazing and unique and interesting. And what they've given me, and I want to see if you agree with this, Phil, is they've given me back the freedom to feel like I'm 6 years old again, drawing in the back of my grandparents' Mexican restaurant on butcher paper, just drawing Star Wars battles. I didn't have an editor. I didn't have an art director. I had my imagination, and I had fun. That's all it was. And you look at Billy Tucci and Graham and just all the guys who were doing Comicsgate Kings, and then all the people who were not former Marvel and DC guys, but guys like Phil. I'm telling you, this is professional work. I would freaking know. I worked in the business.
Thanks,
you've given us the freedom to be artists, to be little kids again, just imagining. And I could never, I can't say thank you enough. So would it be crazy to ask you guys to support this, support guys like Phil who are, putting it out there? He's risking things. He's taking time. And just go on Indiegogo. I'll throw the link in the chat again. I got to go dig for it because I closed that window. And support Phil, support this book so he can keep doing this. And you're definitely getting your money's worth. This is a great looking project. Because let's be honest, we've seen some Indiegogo comics, and not necessarily Comicsgate, but whatever. I would never name names. They're not great. They're very amateur. This is not amateur work. This is fantastic, full of animation. And I can tell that, Phil, you and your brother, you're putting in the work. You and the artists you hire, my goodness, you're putting in the work. So do you agree with that, Phil, though, that these people have given us a gift where we can be artists again? That is like so heartwarming to me.
Yeah, totally. Before I joined CG, before I crowdfunded anything, I was trying to make the Lost Pages before we had the title for it. I had stories written, the silhouette stories, wildcard stories that I wrote in my time in college that I really wanted to make into a comic, and I couldn't find a reliable artist that had the motivation to get some of this work done. And it kind of screwed me at the beginning. I was 18 probably, and dumped a bunch of money on an artist that never delivered anything, paid him before any pages came in, and kind of burned me. But once I met everybody in CG, I did my first book with my brother, and we just had a bunch of friends that were really hungry to create, draw, color, and get projects out. And that's how we're able to do it here in CG. And it's all because of the fans and all because of the backers and readers.
Well, let me go the shorter one first. I did, Gabe. I have all of Foal's book. It's probably your evil twin, Foal, but he meant Phil. I know. I have giant hands and I make typos too. You guys should see our private Comicsgate chat. I do a lot more typos than other people in there. But you got big hands like me, right, Phil? I got like these are 10.5 catcher's mitts, 10.5 inches. That's giant. So, but look at this is a great, great. Oh man, did I lose it? No, here it is. GC says there is a fun aspect to chatting with you guys on live streams. Definitely is entertaining. Chiming in from the Peanut Gallery. Thanks for the cool comics and entertainment, fellas. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's like Comic-Con every day when we come on here. I have a booth at the San Diego Comic-Con. I live in San Diego, and I've been a professional there for like 14 years in a row. And I'll be back this summer, and I'd love to meet you guys in person. And it's really my favorite thing at Comic-Con is to meet kids that love to draw. And I have a few that have been coming back to me for years. And I've told this story before, like last week. One boy started coming to me when he was like 12, little blonde kid. And he came back every year for like 10 years in a row. And here's my sketchbook. And it was not good at first, but I would always encourage him.
Yeah.
He messaged me on Instagram about a year ago, and he's animating on The Simpsons for Fox.
Wow. That's awesome.
Like, yes, that is how you do it. You just stick with the plan. And no matter what happens, you just worry about today's work. Okay, this is Professor Gabe telling you how to achieve anything in life. Know your goal. I'm in A. I want to be at B. And understand the map between the two intricately, and then forget about putting your emotional power into worrying about the whole mountain you're climbing, and understand what is today's work. When I wake up today, December 7th, what do I have to do today? And do not think about December 8th. Don't do it. If you think about the whole thing and the goal and having fun and having the trophy at the end, you're not going to make it. You have to think about today's work. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, one of my favorite guys, he said the best way to keep intrinsic motivation, that's you motivating you, not arm twisted by someone else, is to focus on the current step. And guys like Phil and all that, that's what they're doing. There's like, what do I have to do today to make the Lost Pages work? Not how does the whole project work? I know how it works. I don't need to put my emotion in that. So yes, any of you out there, you can do what we do, or you can do anything you want. Understand your plan, and then just today's work and be consistent. And I promise it'll happen. It has to. So.
Kick-ass advice.
I'll break into those jags sometimes, Phil. You have to bear with me. So, no. Is there anything else you wanted to say? I love this. I hope we get some more supporters out of this. Guys like Phil are really inspiring to me because he doesn't come from the advantage I come from, where I have a ton of free publicity and credibility from what I did. He's just out there doing it himself, which is really impressive. So. Yeah.
Yeah, check. So as well as the writer, I am also the letterer too. So if you share my screen, I was
Oh,
doing
okay.
some lettering.
Where's your screen?
I'll pull it up right here.
Okay, add
Um,
this. Okay.
so
What
this
do you
is
have to do right there?
actually the first page. I letter in Clip Studio, the first page of
Okay.
the lock pages, and yeah, there's some. This is the jewelry robbery, the heist they're doing. This kind of Chicago gangbangers breaking into this jewelry store, and they one of their guys gets thrown through the glass, and that's that big.
I love. Go. Can you go back to that page?
Yeah,
This is. I'm telling you, this is professional storytelling. Look at the second to last panel and look right through the door.
yeah,
You see him. You see Grimstone's head there because you can see the flame on the eyes
hmm
and the mohawk. That's
right,
really great storytelling. And the way the color is separated, the background is that light lavender purple, and the foreground has the darker, stronger reds and the heavier black inks. And you're framing those guys in the window. The illustrator framed them in there. That's fantastic. This is professional work, guys. Please back it. The link is into the description, and I also threw it into the chat. So please back this book. It's fantastic.
So that is today's work. I'll be working on more letters today. Getting that done. I think I have 12 pages lettered right now, and
Uh-huh.
then I've been showing this off too. I know you really like the Crimstone stuff with the big action, and here we just got another Crimstone page in. That's
Oh, blow that up. That's fantastic. Look at those muscles, that deltoid.
so
Look
this
at
is
that shoulder.
if you'll see, it's a double page spread that you turn vertically to actually read. So
Very cool.
two big pages of him taking out a bad guy. This is getting sent over for a little cleanup. He's going to get his tattoos added on his arms because Crimstone, since he's imaginary, his tattoos change from like panel to panel,
Mhm.
and they actually have like little messages in them. And then it's going to get colored up, and it's going to be crazy.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we're going to go here in a second, but I want to show the fans something that I'm working on because when
Hell
you
yeah!
said double page spread here, I want to show them my book, Beef Law. Hold on.
Beef Law, everybody.
Yes. Because you just, with that double page spread, you just reminded me. See, this is the fun you're giving us back as creators. I can take the time to do an actual double page spread on twice up paper. So
Yeah.
my book is like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie about it takes place in Hong Kong. You have two brothers. They're
Mm-hmm.
both like kickboxing masters,
Oh,
and
great.
one of them does underground like kickboxing fights in warehouses and stuff. It
Yeah.
seems like in those movies, those warehouses only make fire or smoke. I can see a guy that worked there tell, okay, honey, I'm headed down to the fire factory today. We're gonna work. We're gonna make a bunch of fire and smoke.
Yeah.
There's the girlfriend with her big boobs. I'm allowed to do that again now that I'm away from the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And guy that's losing the fight is bleeding all over the floor. So these are my blue pencils here. And
Great.
yeah, we're having a lot of fun. He's fighting this Maximilian Volkov is the blonde guy with the headband. He's one of the twin brothers. He's knocking out this Goliath guy. He's just this huge dude. And it's like Street Fighter. There's a bunch of people in the background. But here's a little process for you. I drew this on my iPad last night. And
Oh,
he's
cool.
like, stay down or whatever, and you got the boxes and all that. And and that's gonna go. I'm gonna light box. Oops, sorry. And we'll get back to we'll close on Phil stuff. And that's gonna be this empty panel here. I'm gonna put it under there with some tape and then trace it with my light box. Now I show you all that to again thank you guys, to tell you guys you've given me stuff like that where I can take the time to indulge myself as an artist and really come up with the best work of my career. It's going to be so much fun.
I
All
can't
right,
wait
Phil,
for that.
it's 53. We're almost at an hour. So go ahead and close it out. Tell people what you want them to know. The floor is yours, my man. Let them know.
Yes. Everybody, please check out the Lost Pages. We're funded. We're in demand right now. But our next step is to get to 30K, because once we get there, every book gets upgraded. Everyone is going to have beautiful gold foil spotting on the cover where you see the Eldorado's golden jaw. It'll have that shine to it. We really, really want to get there before we ship in March. So if you guys have buddies that love comics, spread the word. If you guys haven't picked up the Ash Can yet, you can go into the updates section and get it with free shipping by following secret perks. We also have really cool wall scrolls with beautiful silhouette art on them by Jose Garcia. Just let's get to that 30K so we could have that beautiful upgraded cover. And if you guys haven't yet, Sub to Zaid Comics. We just passed 900 subs last night on our stream. So
yeah, if you're sub to me, please sub to Phil. He's really one of the great Comicsgate guys. Him and his brother and everybody's working with. So I want to thank you for being here, Phil. This was fun. Let's do it again. And I definitely want to work with you on something in the future. I like your whole vibe.
yeah,
I like
thanks,
anyone who's tall, like me. No, just kidding. But I like anyone who I can sense and you know it from the fruit. You know a tree by its fruit. I can tell you're a hardworking guy and your brother because I see what you guys are making. And I like anyone that likes to get in there, get their hands dirty, takes a little blood in their mouth. I love anyone that loves the fight, man. So it was great having you. I want to say bye to the chat, and we'll see you again, guys. Bye.